Oh, okay. Hey, Phillip Jackson, man. When this show airs on public access, it's gonna be September, so we can't talk about the Million Father.
Oh, man.
I know you want to talk about the Million Father March. We ain't talking about the Million Father March, which is what, the 15th, 20th year?
This is the 11th year.
Oh my God. 15, okay, so we can't talk about the Million Father March for 11 years. It's nationwide. Blah 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 blah.
1 million fathers.
1 million fathers. So
50 states, Virgin Islands,
Oh, my
Bahamas,
God.
Jamaica, Mexico, Canada, but we won't talk about it.
And we gotta talk about your brother's keeper thing too.
Oh!
All the hate you got because you were hating on the brother's keepers. You want to talk about that?
Sure, let's talk about that.
No. I haven't met the president. I ain't met the president in like 20-some years. He don't know who I am. But we'll hate on the president if you want to
Well,
later
no,
on.
we don't want to hate on the
Yeah,
president.
well, we talk about, well, I'm teasing the people. So let's talk about school. School starts right now. It's this segment runs in September. And I'm just really, well, I talked to the mayor one time about the first, he did some conference call or something on the internet, and I called him like a year or two ago, whatever. And I said, Mr. Mayor, the first 5 weeks are critical. Not the first 10, the first 5. The first day, the first week. Encourage parents. Remember, when I think parents, I mean parents who are just indifferent, parents who are overwhelmed, parents who are low income. We have to really set the tone those first few weeks of school, because once you get behind, you're behind for the next 40 weeks, 39 weeks.
Well, a great educator schooled me on something that happens. That educator, of course, was Mr. Mark Sims.
Oh, please.
And he schooled me on the summer slide.
Yes.
And what that is that whatever the kids have learned and they get out of school in the middle of June, by the time September comes around, they've forgotten half of what they learned. And so what we have done, taking advantage of that information from Professor Mark Sims, we've created a pre-start of school program, an academic program. And actually today, my grandson and I went around, we opened up 16 preschools. And so Mark, you just said that the first day, the first week, the first 5 weeks are critical. It starts before that.
Yeah.
Before the kids get to school, we have to know what have they remembered? How have they brushed up on their skills? Are they adequately prepared to go into whatever grades they're going into? And unfortunately, most of our children are not. When I say our children, I'm talking about black children. A lot of people say to me, well, Phillip, you should talk about all children. And I don't know how they can tell me what I should talk about. Black children are at the absolute rock bottom of the American education system. And I don't hear enough people talking about what we should do for African American children, for black children. And so, in particular, I'm talking about black children and what we, black people, need to do to guarantee the successful education of black children.
Yeah, Mr. Jackson, that's all well and good, but the real problem is that I did a show earlier, segment. And you told me that 90%, basically 90% of the black boys in Chicago, and it's like this in many cities, cannot read at grade level. And we wonder why Chirac is Chirac.
Yeah, it was 92%.
Yeah,
Only 8% of 8th grade black boys read proficiently, and that comes out of the National Assessment for Educational Progress. 8% of black boys in Chicago read at or above grade level.
Let me cut you off. Whose fault is that, Mr. Jackson? Is it the school's fault, the public school system, the parents, or the intrinsic motivation of the child? Why is that? Why black kids don't do as well? Not some do. A lot of black kids don't. Why do we do so poorly in school? Whose fault is it, Mr.
It is
Jackson?
our fault. It is absolutely
Who
our fault. And our teachers only get a small part of this blame for this, because a lot of the skills that I'm talking about, a lot of the development that I'm talking about is stuff that schools can't do. Schools can't make young black boys want to learn. Schools, for whatever the reasons, are not good at encouraging young black boys to learn. That's work that has to be done by the community, in the home. We give the home a pass too much of the time. And there are a lot of people who say, well, it's the teacher's job to teach the kids how to read. Absolutely not. The teacher goes home at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and the teacher absolutely has a critical job. But it is not their job to really guarantee that our children know how to read. And the reason why, the teachers, many of them do not go back to our communities where blood is running in the street. It is the preacher's job. It is the elected official's job. It's the businessman's job. It's the parent's job. It's the family's job. It's everybody in our community. We have got to revalue what we think about education.
But Mr. Jackson, education is personal. You know that. Education is personal. They say I can't help that mother raise her son. I can't go to her and tell her this is what you need to do. She needs resources. She needs parenting skills. She needs after-school programs. She needs help.
Education,
the mama and grandmama need help. They need a lot of help.
Education is a community value, and our community does not value education. All the things that you just talked about, that's what we do at Black Star. We work with the grandmamas. We work with the badass kids. We work with the preacher. We'll work with anybody. We work with the street gangs. We'll work with anybody who wants to educate black children, who want to improve the African American community. And unfortunately, our community, my community, we don't value education. And so I know you know that up in Washington, D.C., they're kind of talking about me because I said some things about my brother's keeper. But in saying that, I don't even care what they do up in Washington. I care what we do on 43rd Street.
Yeah, but why you hating on the president and his brother's keepers? Come on. Why you hating on the PRED? POTUS?
I am a big supporter of President Obama. He's going to be gone in a few months. And we're still going to be in the same position that we were in when he came into office. Right. So this is not about a man. It's not about President Obama. This is about us. And
yeah, but what is my brother? I'm sorry, cutting you off. What is my brother's keepers doing? What is the deflecting attention? What is wrong with the program?
It's sucking up the money at this point.
Okay.
There were black-led, black-managed organizations that were out here doing the work, working with our young people, protecting our children, mentoring our children, making no money, doing it for free. And now, all of a sudden, they put some money in the game, and the University of Chicago becomes the big dog on the block for mentoring young black men. I can't accept that. I won't accept that. If it doesn't have indigenous, grassroots, black-led leadership teaching and mentoring black boys, it's not something I can support or embrace, whether it's my brother's keeper or any other program.
Well, Phillip Jackson, you know, whether it's President Obama or Rahm Emanuel or whoever runs the public schools or Barbara Bird Bennett, never met her, but she's like a nice enough lady. It's about the system. It ain't about us. You know, we know black folks, we were brought here as slaves. 100 years of segregation. On one level, it really hasn't changed. We've always been managed and mismanaged by the system, whatever the system is. So that's not going to change. The biggest problem we have is that we don't have an economic base. We don't have an economic base. We don't have real leadership. That old civil rights leadership is played out. When we going to wake up?
The biggest problem that we have is us. It's not the White House. It's not City Hall. It's not the governor's mansion. It's us. It's not our elected officials. I'm talking about black elected officials who don't do what we want. That's not our problem. Our problem is in our house. Our problem is on our block. And until we fix our problems, the rest of the stuff really doesn't mean anything.
And why can't people just can't? And I have people argue with me on social media. If most of our black boys can read or write at grade level, somewhere close to it, read, write, speak, think, and do math, grade level or something close to it, or hopefully above grade level, most of our Chirac problems, these crime problems, the murder problems, most of these problems will be eliminated.
They will self-resolve. Today at Black Star, today is a day in August, we opened up 16 free reading academies. 16 free reading academies where we're willing and able and available to teach anybody, young black boys, older black boys, black men, black women, anybody, how to read, how to do math, how to have a high level of computer literacy. And many of the sites were empty. They were empty.
They're empty.
There was nobody there.
But they were
and it was free.
They was empty because, one, a lot of people don't know it exists. And two, it's your ideal. Well, you know how black people are. You can have the greatest idea in the world, Phillip Jackson. You do. But it's Phillip Jackson's idea, and I can't participate in it. You know how we are.
Well, then they don't have to participate. But
Crazy.
they've got to look at their children. They've got to look at the fact that their children are being destroyed in these schools. They're being destroyed. Their communities are being destroyed by their children who've been destroyed by the schools. And so if they don't want me to have the idea, then it's not my idea. The idea is for my community to want our children to be globally competent, globally compassionate, globally able to exist. And right now, black children, I'm talking about children who I know, who I see almost every day, they can't make it. They will not make it in this world, and it's our fault. I'm not blaming nobody else
It is our
except
fault,
us.
but to change habit, whether it's trying to lose weight or make sure your kids can read and write or get a job, trying to change your daily habits. You know, make sure your kids go to bed early, get a good meal, can't watch TV all day, can't play video games all day. Those habits are foreign to a lot of parents.
I'm going to go back to an example of a couple of parents who I have seen do exactly what you're talking about. That's Mr. and Mrs. Mark Sims. They grew up in the hood.
Well, you patronizing.
But you've done it. I mean, your children.
Yeah, but they ain't Einstein. They were both valedictorians of the
And
high school, but they ain't Einstein.
That's
They
why
all right.
you've made the case.
Yeah, they
don't have to be Einstein, and you don't have to. And we've talked about this off camera, and I'm going to say it on camera. You are one of the most educated black men that I know.
Wait.
This is one of the most educated black men that I know.
But he does not understand that.
And you see, that old whack-ass education they give at these colleges,
Yeah.
it's like rat poison. It's killing us. It's killing our community. But this man, you should see his kids. You should see, and he's been going into the schools, and he's been trying to make other kids like his kids.
I know.
And the schools are saying, man, we don't want this. We don't want that. We don't want these kids going to the colleges. We don't want that.
I know. No, come over here. See, the point is that the lighting's poor. I didn't want to get in front of the camera. But what I wanted to say, though, is that when you raising children is really hard. It's really, really hard. It comes with great sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot of stuff. You may even sacrifice your own relationships and marriage and friendships for your children. And a lot of folks don't want to do that. I hate to use the word sacrifice. It's a choice. And it's really, really hard. But the main thing I told you before, and I say this in front of the camera, and now hopefully we'll show some video while I'm talking.
Well, Mr. Sims, before you go ahead, that's not hard. What you just said is not hard. Let me tell you what's hard. What's hard is picking up your son's brains off the street after he got shot over a crazy beef that he was in. What's really hard is your daughter, who you love and you respect, and she got HIV and gonorrhea and all that stuff because she's dealing with these young guys in a way that my society, my community didn't teach her how to do legit. What's really hard, now this is hard, when my people got to be out here stealing, ripping off Walgreens for deodorant and toilet paper because we don't have jobs, because we cannot afford to buy toilet paper. Now that's hard.
Yeah.
Now that's hard, Brother Mark. This stuff you talking about, that's not hard. Making sure that your children go to bed on time, that's not
It's
hard.
really hard,
That's not
man.
hard.
It's really hard.
Making sure that your children get up and eat some oatmeal so they got something in their stomach.
What's wrong
in
with
school.
sugar cereal? No sugar.
So what you're telling me is the easy way.
I know.
The hard way is the way we're going right now. My people are getting ready to be wiped out. We lost 200,000 in Chicago over the past census decade, and the next one will probably be 400,000.
Yeah, we leaving Chicago, but I was going to say, and I got home, and even in the
This is my
South,
guy.
even
This is my guy.
even people move to the South. Most of the poverty is guess where? In the South.
Well,
Most of the poverty in America is in the South.
most of the